Okay, folks, I'm going to work on a little bit more of this Hebrew. I've had like a 2-month hiatus. Really haven't been doing too much with the Hebrew. I've kind of focused on some other things, but I kind of got encouraged to get back into it the last time that I did a little bit of Hebrew. And so I'm going to try to just get through some more of this. Now, if you remember the last video I did, I did this this section here. Let's see here. Okay, so we did this here basically, and it was just a thing that told us about this this town, Naria, and you can find that video on my YouTube channel. So I guess this is where I left off. Usually I highlight these things where I left off. So I'm going to try to do is I did a little bit of review today on that video, and I'm going to try to let me see if I can get this drink somewhere else. It's hard to find table space here sometimes. So I'm going to try to get through these answers. I've got an answer key. So let's see what we can come up with here. So we have she'elot, and again, if you want to see the translation for all this, just go to my previous video. It's on my YouTube. I've got that listed there in the live feed. Okay, so let's take a look at our questions. But before we do that, let's take a look at this. We've got yam for sea. We've got makom or makomot. That's for place or places. Rachol, Rashi would be like the first street, the main street, Rachol. Okay, and then she'elot would be like questions. So basically the questions are going to be in reference to this here. So I want to have this up so that I can look back on my my thing and see what's going on here. Okay, so I might have to use my Google Translate. I'm feeling a little bit rusty with some of this, but that's all right. I'll use my Google Translate and see if I can get some of this. Okay, so man betakan kasbev. Let's see here. Let's see, I might have to turn off my Saman betakasev lama. Okay. It looks like it's going to have to be take this off. Take this off Bluetooth for a minute. Saman Batakasaf. Okay. It might be Simon. I wonder if that's a proper name. So I'm looking at this word here that starts here, ends with a nun safit. Oh, cursor. Okay. Let's see what that pronounces like. Okay, get that all the way up there.
Saman.
Yeah, Saman is cursor. So this looks like Batakasev. Because remember, we don't have any vowel pointing. So basically, this is all about memorizing. Okay, highlight in the text. Look at that. Highlight in the text.
Saman batext.
Oh, but text. So this is like saman. Okay, so this is a proper Hebrew word here, saman, which means highlight. And then this is but text. This is a transliteration in the text, a transliteration of an English word, text. Okay, so saman betext, lama would be like, I think lama is like to what, literally, or for what. But when you put it together here with this, Yeah, it has to do with Y. Highlight, mark in the text Y. Let's see, Mati Yachsot. Mati Yachsot. I can't believe I got it. Okay, so that is how you pronounce it, I think.
סמן בטקסט למה מתייחסות. סמן בטקסט למה מתייחסות.
Matichasot. Okay, highlight in the text what you refer to. Look at that word there. What you refer to. Hamilim. I think hamilim are the words. Hamilim. Yeah, right. What the words refer to.
סמן בטקסט למה מתייחסות המילים.
Hamilim. Okay, so what the words refer to. Let's see. Ba'otiot. Let's see. Me'od gashot. Ba'otiot. Mod gashot. Okay. Yeah, ha'otiot is with the letters. And this is ma'od gashot. The ode. Yeah, mark in the text what the words in bold refer to. Okay.
סמן בטקסט למה מתייחסות המילים האותיות מודגשות.
Okay, so gashot.
סמן בטקסט למה מתייחסות המילים האותיות מודגשות.
Okay, all right. So mark in the text what the words in bold. So this is the words here, but OTO is probably in bold. And that's mod gashot.
סמן בטקסט למה מתייחסות המילים האותיות מודגשות.
Mood gashot. It's like mood gashot. Okay, mood gashot. Okay. All right, so basically you mark in the text what the words in bold letters refer to. Okay, all right, so let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, so I see what's going on here. This text here, Zot, has to do with the city, and the city is it's Nahar. Let's see, Naharia. It's like Naharia. Okay, so Zot is this city. This city is small, but Galil. It's a small city in Galilee. Okay, so I think that's what they're talking about here. This number one, it's referring to these words here that are marked in bold, because that's what this sentence says here. Okay, so this would be referring to Naharia, which would be the city. Okay, so when it says he here, remember, I think last time, normally it refers to like she, we're talking about a person, but remember that everything in Hebrew is gendered, masculine or feminine. So cities are typically gendered feminine. So this is why it would be literally, this would be translated as it. Okay, and then nimsa et. It is located ali yad hayam. It is located nearby the sea. Okay, so Naaria is located nearby the sea. Okay, so he, what would he be referring to? Well, Naharia. It's referring to that city. Okay, okay, let's see here. Now we've got, okay, let's try this. Aniohave, I like lagur, to dwell, but ir katana, I like to dwell in a small city. Let's see, yeshpo shakat, there is here shakat. I can remember what that one is, shakat. Oh, got the wrong one here. Shakat. There we go. Oh, okay.
שקט,
Shake it.
שקט,
Shake it.
שקט.
Okay, shake it. So it's almost like what would be under here would be a ray. So it's like a Y sound. Shake it. And then under the kaf, or the kof rather, would be segol. Remember, I don't have the benefit of pointing. That's one of the neat things about learning biblical Hebrew, because everything is pointed. But in modern Hebrew, you don't have any pointing to rely upon. It's all memory. You've got to remember how these combinations of letters are pronounced, because there are some words that have the exact same letters in the exact same order. And how do you know without vowel pointing? Well, you have to look at the surrounding context. And as an English speaker, primarily is what I am, it makes a big difference to be able to memorize and just keep in mind what that combination of letters is in context of what's going on around it. So that's one of the challenges of Hebrew. That's why Hebrew is considered one of the two most difficult languages in the world to learn, alongside Chinese. Chinese is extremely difficult to learn, my friends. So let's take a look at this. So basically, this word po is what we're zeroing in on. There is here shakat, shakat. I think it's shakat. Let's see, try that again.
שקט,
Shake it.
שקט.
One of these days, I'll get that memorized. There is here shakat, shake it. And this is po. Yesh po, shake it. There is here quiet. So what is the here being referred to as? Remember, down here it said, find the bold text and find out what they're being referred to here. Well, Naharia, it's Naharia. There is here Naharia. Okay. Let's see here. Now let's get down to this one here. This is Shem. So that's name. Okay, so Gam Chahonot Shali Nimsa et Sham. Also Chahonot. Let's take a look at that one. Also Gam Chahonot Shali Nimsa et Sham. Okay. We're gonna have to put that Gam Chahonot Shali. My daughter-in-law is located there.
גם החונט שלי נמצא שם.
Hahonet.
גם החונט שלי נמצא שם.
Shali Nimsa et. We need Nimsa et. Nimset. Yeah.
גם החונט שלי נמצאת שם.
Okay, so basically, also my daughter-in-law, Shali, belonging to me, Nimset, is located Sham, there. So what's the there being referred to? Well, it's Naharia. Naharia. Okay, so all of these point to one city, one name, Naharia. Okay. All right, so because remember down here it said, tell us what the highlighted words refer to essentially. All right, so how about this right here? He nimset al hakarmel. Okay, so this is probably referring to Nahari again up here, right here. He nimset, it is located upon hakarmel. Let's see, or by the mountain. Carmel, I think that's probably Mount Carmel. Aliyad Hayam, nearby the sea. Okay. Anaknu, we, Ohevim, we love the Tiel Birhovot. I wonder whether that Now that we there is who's the one being referred to there as we? Well, it's probably it's going to be the people who are in the third person. They're talking about this city, but it says we like אנחנו אוהבים לטייל ברחובות של חיפה. Okay, we like to walk the streets of Haifa. Okay, so we like to walk the streets of Haifa. So that's anaknu, we like latiel birhovot. Has to do with to walk the streets, shell belonging to Haifa. Okay, so this would be like the speakers here. You like, okay, yesh sham anashim. There are there people. So what is the there talking about? There are there men, women, nashim, leyeladim. There are children. Yesh. Makoniot would be like cars. Autobusim would be like buses. Veyesh, and there. Harbe Rasha. There is a lot of noise. I think that's what that means. There's a lot of noise. Veyesh Harbe Rasha. Yeah, there's a lot of noise. I bet you it's Ra'ish. Ra'ash.
ויש הרבה רעש.
Yeah, Ra'ash.
ויש הרבה רעש.
Yeah, Vayesh Harbe Ra'ash. There is a lot of noise. So what is what's this being referred to then right here? There is here, people. Okay, so probably we're talking about Haifa now, right? So I think it's probably this Sham goes with Haifa. There is here a lot of noise. It's Haifa. Okay, let's go down here to this one here. Avol ani lo rotza, but I do not want lagur sham. I don't want to dwell there. Sham, I don't want to dwell there. Well, what's the there being talked about here? What's this in reference to? Well, it's Haifa, because the speaker is saying, Naharia is very quiet. Remember that? Yesh po shakate. I think shakate. Yesh po shakate. I bet you shake it.
יש פה שקט.
Yeah, shake it.
יש פה שקט.
Yesh po shake it. So Naharia is shake it. It's quiet. Now Haifa, on the other hand, is loud. Notice this, Aval ani lo rotza lagur sham. I don't want to dwell there. What's the there? It's Haifa. Okay, so how about this one here? This po. Let's see. Ani ohev. I like shake it. I like quiet. But ani ohev lagur po. I like to dwell. And I like to dwell here. I like to dwell here, which would be, what's the here in reference to? Well, that's Naharia, and that's the smaller city that's quieter. Okay, so hopefully when I look at the answer key, this is what I should find. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, all right, so here it is. Remember, Zot is Naharia, that's correct. He is equal to Naharia, good. Po is, let's see, Ben Naharia, in Naharia, okay. Sham there is Birhol Harashi, or Birhol Gaiton. Now this is interesting here. I don't think I've seen the distinction there. So this is like the main street. This is Main Street is talking about in Naharia. So it's saying, it's probably saying it's quiet there on Main Street in Naharia. Let's see. Now he is in reference to Haifa, Anaknu. Look at this one, Aria. Aria Kameli. That's right. That's the speaker. And I just said speakers. I just said whoever the speakers are. But Bahamishpaka Shali and my family. So Aria Kameli, Hamishpaka Shali would be and my family. Okay. Sham is in reference to Berhovot Shel Haifa. So this would be like Barhovot is like it's like on the streets belonging to Haifa. Barhovot Shel Haifa. Yeah.
ברחובות של חיפה.
Yeah, ברחובות של Haifa.
ברחובות של חיפה.
Okay, so on the streets of Haifa. Okay, so what about this one here? Haifa, in Haifa, Sham refers to, okay, and then Po refers to Badnaharia. Badnaharia. Okay, so basically, I think I got that pretty good. Maybe I missed a couple things, some nuances here. I didn't exactly put the proper names in. I just said the speakers. And I think there was one other one, this one over here, I think, the Sham here. I might want to look at that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take a look at that and see what they are talking about here. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's this one here. So Gum, let's see, Bahonot also Shali. So my I think that's daughter-in-law. It might be daughter-in-law. Gam Bahonot Shali Nims et Sham. Okay. It's no, it's Hachanot. Hachanot. Wait a minute here. Hachanot. It's Hachanot. Okay, wait a minute here. The store is there.
גם החנות שלה נמצאת שם.
Okay, Shali, and it's Shali Nimset. My shop is also there. Okay, so I was wrong about that. So this right here is not daughter-in-law. This has to do with shop. Okay. Also, so it sounds like his shop is in Haifa. Okay, all right. So this is a Gam Bahonot. Hahonot.
גם החנות שלי נמצאת שם.
Okay, is in Haifa. All right, guys. Let's see here. Now, so I did a pretty good on this one. Let's try this number 2 here. Naharia lo nimset. Naharia is not located aliyah nearby Tel Aviv. It's not located nearby Tel Aviv. It. And so what I need to put in there is probably it's located aliyad hayam. Probably is what it is. He nimsa et aliyad hayam. Yeah. Aliyad.
היא נמצאת על יד הים.
He nimset aliyad hayam. Okay. So this is what I want to put here because Naharia, remember, up in the reading is a small town is located by the sea. And this says Naharia lo nimse. It's not located aliyad Tel Aviv. It's not located by Tel Aviv. Actually, you know what? It might actually be Haifa. The answer might not be Hayam. It might be Haifa. Let me double check that again here. Okay, so let's see here. Naharia he makom. It is a nice place to live. Berahov Harashi and the main street. Rachov. Let's see. Gation. Okay, Yesh. Okay, what is this where it says it's by the sea? Haifa. I think it says that Haifa is See, okay, so let's take a look at this one here. Lapa'amim ani nosua lahaipa. Lapa'amim. Take a look at that one. Lapa'amim ani nosea lahaipa. Sometimes I go to Haifa.
לפעמים אני נוסע לחיפה. לפעמים אני נוסע לחיפה.
לפעמים.
לפעמים אני נוסע לחיפה.
Yeah, נוסע לחיפה.
לפעמים אני נוסע לחיפה.
Haifa. Okay, so sometimes I go to Haifa with Ha'isha, with the wife, Ha'yeladim. Okay, with the wife and children. In other words, with my wife and children. Okay, so, but I think what they're looking for down here is this is close to the sea. Naharia lo nimsaet aliyah Tel Aviv. Okay, so Naharia is not located nearby Tel Aviv. I would say I'm going to just put in the sea. He nimsaet al yad hayam. It is by the sea.
היא נמצאת על יד הים.
Okay, so we've got the he in there. I will try Zadik. Nimset al yad. Try to get that dalet a little better. Okay, al yad hayam. Hayam would be like the sea. Okay, so it's located by the sea. So I'm going to see what the answer key says and see if that's correct. I don't think it said it was like really close to Haifa, but then I'm beginning to think that because it references Tel Aviv, it could be equally in reference. This could be wrong right here. Obviously, this is wrong. It's got to be Haifa, but maybe that's what they're thinking of when they're asking this question. So let's find out what that is. Okay, yes. My first, actually, my second impulse was correct. Naharia lo nimsaet aliyad Tel Aviv. Okay, so Naharia is not located. Aliyad would be like, literally that means on hand or nearby Tel Aviv. Okay, so he nimsaet, it is located. Remember, the he is not in reference to a person. It's in reference to a city. He nimsaet aliyad Haifa, nearby Haifa. Okay. I kind of figured, in context of that, I kind of thought that that might be the way to go because it's referencing Tel Aviv. Okay, so Ein Naharia Ra'ash. Okay, so there is not in Naharia Ra'ash. There is not a lot of noise in Naharia, right? Ein Bahanaria Ra'ash. Naharia. Banaharia. Yeah.
אין בנהריה רעש.
Yeah. Eina Banaharia.
אין בנהריה רעש.
Okay, so there is no noise in Naharia. So here's the Naharia right here. The bet is in with or on. So it's in Naharia. There is, so in other words, if we're talking about noise, then we need to follow up by saying there is quiet. So probably we're looking for this word right here. Shake it. I think it's shake it. I'll put it in there and make sure that's right, but there is shake it. Let's see here. Oy vey. There is shake it. Okay, shake it. And then Banaria. So I'm gonna put a bet, a noon, a hey, a resh, a yod, and a hey. So it's like yesh shake it Banaria. Banaria. Yesh shake it Banaria. Yeah.
יש שקט בנהריה.
Sheket. It's like sheket.
יש שקט בנהריה.
Okay, yes, sheket, Benaria. Okay, so there is quiet in Naria. So I'm going to take a look at the answer key and see how they have done that. Okay, so number 3, Aina Benaria Ra'ash. There is not a lot of noise. Yesh Sham sheket. Look at that. They don't put in Naria, maybe because that's too redundant. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so that it flows in a conversational. So it's like you wouldn't say things repeatedly that are unnecessary. You could just use the sham. Okay, so ye sham sheket. There is there quiet. Okay, so let's see. Aria lo nosea. Aria does not travel. Autobusim. Let's see. Autobus. No, it's just autobus. On the bus. La Ovoda. I think that's to the store. Ovoda. Well, let me double check. Aria lo nosea autobus la Avoda. Oh, it's to work, I bet you. Yeah, it's to work.
אריה לא נוסע באוטובוס לעבודה.
Yeah, la Ovoda. Okay, so Aria does not travel. You see, Aria does not travel, nosea autobus, on the bus, la Ovoda, to work. Okay, so this one basically, so it's talking about how does Aria travel to work? So he doesn't travel by bus. So now I got to figure out in this reading section here, how does Aria travel? Okay, let's see here. So let's see here. Nimsa away lagur but ear katana. Yesh po shake it. There we go, shake it. How does he travel? That's the question. So we got to go to Nariahi. Probably down here somewhere. I wonder this latiel has to do with fly. That can't be right. That's walk. I bet you that's right. Well, this says, oh, go away. These beeps keep coming on my phone. Figure out, where does it say how he travels? Oniot, kol note, batik katana. Rashi, goodness, I'm not finding it here, guys. Oh, wait a minute here. Uba boker, in the morning, ani holek, I go baragel, on foot. La ovoda. Okay, I found it. On foot, baragel. There it is. There's the answer right there. Baragel, on foot. He doesn't go by a bus to work in the morning. He goes on foot. Let's see here. So Aria lo nosea ba-autobus, ba-autobus. It's ba-autobus. On the bus, to work. He, so if you were to say he goes on foot, so we could say, or who rather, it's who. Who holek baragel. He goes on foot. So let's put holek in there. Who holek, okay, who holek baragel, on foot. Okay, so Regel. Okay, so he does this right here. He holek Regel. Okay, so let's see what the answer key says. He goes on foot. He doesn't go by autobus to work. Okay, so here it is. Aryeh lo nosea באוטובוס לעבודה to work. Hu holek לעבודה. Oh, look at this. They put this extra one in there. He goes to work. But I wonder, this seems like somewhat redundant here. I don't know why they would put that there. Hu holek לעבודה ברגל. I just put holek ברגל. He goes on foot. Because we're already talking about his workplace. Okay, number 5 here. Bahaifa yesh ra'ash. In Haifa, there is noise. There is noise. Key, because, because what? Well, okay, so I think it has to do with this here. Let's see. Im Anashim Hayeladi. Okay, Haifa, it is a city. It is a big city. But name on Nianet. Meanianet. I think it's Meanianet. Is a nice and big city, I bet you. Gadola va Meanianet. Yeah, big and it's interesting. Big and interesting.
גדולה ומעניינת.
Uma.
גדולה ומעניינת.
Meonienet. It's hard to say.
גדולה ומעניינת.
Okay, so this is the interesting part. This is the big part. He names it's located all Carmel upon Mount Carmel. Aliyad Hayom, near to the sea. Anaknu Ohavim Latiel. We like to walk Berhovot on the street shell belonging to Haifa. Okay. Yesham. Okay, so this is probably why it's noisy, right? There Anashim, Nashim, Vayeladim. There's there men, women, children. Yesh Makoniot. There's cars. Look at that. There's cars there. Makoniot. But autobusim. There's buses there. But yesh harbe ra'ash. And there is harbe ra'ash. There is a lot. I think that means like a lot of noise. Yesh harbe ra'ash. Yeah, there's a lot of noise.
יש הרבה רעש.
Yeah, yesh harbe ra'ash. Okay, so the question is down here again. Bahaifa yesh ra'ash. There is, okay, so because, and ki means because, right? Because, well, it'd be an awful lot to write. This is the answer right here. Yesh sham anashim nashim v'yeladim yesh mekoniot v'autobusim. Okay, so look at all that's there. You got men, women, children. You've got mekoniot, which are cars. Autobusim, you got autobuses. So that's why it is ra'ash. That's why there's noise. There's a lot of noise. So if I were to put that and complete this sentence, I would say ki sham, because there, or I would put ki because yesh there is there. Anashim. Nashim. So it's just like it's written here. V'yeladim yesh mekoniot ve'autobusim. Okay, so let's see what the answer key says. Okay, so Bahaifa yesh ra'ash. There's a lot of noise. Ki yesh sham. Okay, I got that right. Mekoniot autobusim v'har. Look at this. V'harbe anashim, and people. Now in this case, notice what they've done here. Notice how in the text, they list them specifically into gender and age group. They list anashim, men, Because if you see anashim along with nashim and yeladim, then what they're doing is they're sort of pointing out the various categories of people. But notice how they put in this answer key. They put yesham mekoniot. This is cars, utubusim, buses, and then they simply say veharbe anashim. And there are lots of people and lots of people. So they just, in the answer, they bunch them all together. So that's kind of interesting on this study guide. All right, one last one here. Okay, so Aryeh ohev et Haifa. So Aryeh, he likes Haifa, aval, but, okay, so now we need to go up to the reading section and find out what is it about Haifa that he doesn't really like, or what would he rather have than living in Haifa? Because remember, Haifa is very noisy. Okay, so let's look at the aval part here. Yesh harbe ra'ash. Okay, so ani ohev et Haifa. Okay, so here it is. Here he's speaking. Ani ohev et Haifa. So I like Haifa. Aval ani lo rotze lagur sham. Okay, so but I don't want rotze sham. I don't want to dwell lagur sham. I don't want to dwell there. Ani ohev sheket. I like quiet, but ani ohev lagur po. I like to dwell here because remember, he's having a conversation, and where's he having the conversation? In Naharia. He's in his hometown, Naharia. So he goes to work, he walks to work, and that's an awful long distance. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's close to it. It's probably close to it. That could be. Maybe it's like a suburb. Anyway, so why doesn't he want to live in Haifa? Well, because he must like quiet. So how about we put something down here like, see, Aryeh ohev et Haifa. So Aryeh, he likes Haifa, aval, but, now we can put a lot of things in here, but he likes the quiet he likes, so we could put aval, hu ohev, he likes hashaket, the quiet, ba naharia. So let's see how that comes out. Aval hu ohev basheket hanaria. Hanaharia. It's probably sheket. Aval hu ohev sheket bahanaria. Okay, sheket. There we go. Banaharia, okay.
אבל הוא אוהב שקט בנהריה.
Yeah, bahanaria, okay. So, but he likes the quiet in Naharia. Okay, so we can put a who here. And then ohev. And then the word for sheket, quiet, is, remember, it's this kof, shin kof tet. Sheket bahnaharia. Okay, so hu ohev shaket bahnaharia. Okay, so let's see what the answer key says. Okay, so Aryeh ohev et Haifa. Was Aryeh, he likes Haifa. Aval hu lo rotze. Oh, look at this, how they answered it. But he does not want, lo rotze lagur sham, but he does not want to dwell there. Look at that. They answered a completely different way, but both ways really make sense. He likes quiet. And so, but then my way of answering it, maybe there's not enough connectivity there. That could be it. So maybe this is, admittedly, this is a little better way to answer this. He low wrote say, but he wants, low wrote say, he does not want Lagur to dwell there. Okay, all right. Let's see here. I annotate clear. All right. All right, so let's see here. Wow, that was kind of a big exercise. And whenever I get through these, it's like I feel a little bit tired because like I'm really working hard in my mind trying to remember what exactly is being talked about here. Okay, so I've got 46 minutes. So what I'm going to do is go down through this right here. So let's take a look at this here. We've got, let's see, Siomot Harbim, Siomot Harbim, Bashamot Etzem. Yeah, Siomot Harbim, Bashamot. Okay. It's going to be Bashamot. I think it's Bashamot.
סיומות הרבים בשמות עצם.
Bishmot Etzem.
סיומות הרבים בשמות עצם.
Okay, Siomot. Okay, so the plural endings are being plural endings, Shemot in the names there, plural endings in the names. So it's like a plural endings in nouns. So Etzem has got to be nouns in the names of noun. Okay, so Siomot are being Shemot. Okay, so plural endings in nouns. All right, so all adjectives has 4 forms: singular, masculine, singular, feminine, plural masculine, plural feminine. For example, hadashot. Let's see here. Yeah, right. So it's like if the object being spoken of is feminine gender, then all of the nouns have to, or the adjectives have to resonate that gender. So it's like that's one of the reasons why Hebrew is difficult, because basically you are applying you're applying all of the gender together in the whole line of the sentence. Okay, so so you got this right here: hadoshim, hadoshot, hadoshim, hadasha, and hadash. Pro suffixes are here. He work yod mem safit for masculine, holem tav for feminine. Nouns that represent animate objects share these same 4 forms. For example, rofe, I think that's like a doctor. Rofa would be like a female doctor. Rofim would be like a mixed group of doctors, and rofot would be all female doctors. I think that's what that is. Majority of nouns. Let's double check that though. Rofe. Yeah.
רופא.
Yeah, rofe. And then if you say rofot. Rofot. What? I don't see that word very often. It's like all female doctors. That's what it is.
רופאות. רופאות.
Yeah, rofot, female doctors. Okay. The majority of nouns, however, only have 2 forms. They are either masculine or feminine. Okay, so adjectives have these 4 forms. That's good to remember. And the majority of nouns, however, have only 2 forms. Look at that. They are either masculine or feminine and have simply 1 singular form and 1 plural form. For example, let's see. Shior is like a classroom, or classes rather. Shiorim is classes. So class or classes, which I think it's either lesson or classes. I think it's probably lesson. Shi'orim. Oh, good grief. Why doesn't it? Shi'orim. Okay.
שיעורים.
Yeah, shi'orim. That's classes. Okay, so there's no such thing as shi'orah or shi'orot. Okay, so nouns have two forms. For these nouns, the plural suffix, whether it's hirik, yod, mem, savit, which would be like the masculine, or olem, tav would be like the feminine, is arbitrary and is unrelated to the noun's gender. For example, the noun rechov is masculine. The plural is rechovot. Now, if you study the biblical Hebrew, they do acknowledge this fact. They do say that in most cases you can get a clue to the gender if you look at one of these nouns. But notice the noun rechov is, in its base sense, masculine. But look at what would normally be a female plural ending, rechovot. See that? So, but I think this is a little bit of an overstatement here, where it says "and is unrelated to the noun's gender." That's an overstatement, unless the rule is completely different for modern Hebrew, which is what this is, versus biblical Hebrew. So now in biblical Hebrew, they're saying in most cases, you can get a clue to the gender by looking at the ending. So, for example, this would be the female ending, typically, holem tav, and the masculine ending, masculine plural ending would be hirik, yod, mem, sofit. You see that there, the little dot is the hirik, and then the yod and mem, sofit. All right, let's see here. You can determine a noun's gender by inspecting its singular form. Generally, nouns that end with hey or tav are feminine. Okay, that makes sense. In other words, hey would be like in a singular feminine sense, and tav would be in a plural feminine sense, typically. Those that end with any other letters are masculine. You cannot, however, ascertain the gender of a noun by its plural form. Interesting. That's right, because there's always exceptions. Although I still think this is a bit of an, it is somewhat related. I think this is wrong. It's somewhat, I would put somewhat related, but not in all cases. Okay, so if you combine the noun rechovot, which would be like streets, with an adjective, for example, me'anyan, which is like interesting. I think me'anyan is interesting, if I remember correctly. Me'anyan rechovot. Yeah.
מעניין רחובות.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Rehovot is the street, unless Rehovot. Like, oh no, street is Birchol. So Rehovot is this is a town. It must be. Rehovot must be a town. Okay, so the plural is Rehovot is Rehov. Let me look at this Rehov again. Okay, yeah, I was right. It's street.
רחוב.
Rehov. So it's got to be Rehovot. Okay, so I thought I had that right. I was thinking, man, street. Okay, Rehovot. Agrees with the gender of the noun is correct. In this case, masculine takes plural, masculine suffix hirik, yod, mem, sofit. Okay. A similar conflict may occur. In other words, what they're saying here is that you have this is kind of an oddball here, Rehovot, because this is masculine gender. Right here, Rehov is street. Okay, and then Rehovot, look at this. It looks like it's got a feminine gender, plural, but this is an exception. Yes, this still makes this masculine gender. even though the N looks like a feminine gender plural. The adjective, however, agrees with the gender of the noun it describes. In this case, masculine, right? Because rechov takes the plural masculine and takes the plural masculine ending. Hierarchical. Okay, so a similar conflict may occur between a noun and a verb. For example, okay, so ha me'onot nimsaim ha me'onot. I think this might be the restaurant. Is located aliyad ha park. I think that's the restaurant. Ha me'onot nimsaim aliyad ha park. Oh, it's ha me'onot is the dormitories. That's right.
המעונות נמצאים על יד הפארק.
Yeah, המעונות נמצאים על יד הפארק. Okay, so notice how you've got what ordinarily is a masculine gender, and then this looks like a feminine gender, המעונות. Okay, so the dormitories. For example, the verb nimsaim agrees with the gender, masculine of the noun מעונות, which is dormitory. מעונות. מעונות. Oh, wait a minute, dormitory, we need. Okay. מעונו. Dormitory.
מעון.
Ma'on is like singular masculine dormitory. Okay. Unfortunately, there is no rule concerning the choice of plural suffixes in nouns. You merely have to learn the plural form of each noun. That's another reason that makes Hebrew really difficult to learn, because it's like as you learn the vocabulary, you got to learn 4 forms of that one word. So it's kind of challenging, but I get pleasure out of it. I like learning it. The following chart lists some standard nouns whose plural suffixes do not agree with their gender. They are presented in singular form, plural form, and in conjunction with an adjective. Okay, so nechava, I think that's feminine. And this zacher is masculine. Nikba, I think it's nikba. And zachare, I think it's zachare. Zachare. Yeah, masculine.
זכר.
Yeah, zachar. You hear that resh? It almost rolls off. Zachar. And then nikba. Nikba. Yeah.
נקבה.
Nekiba.
נקבה.
Look at that, nekiba. Okay. So nekiba and zachar. So this is feminine. Okay, so milah is word, milim are words. Okay. Milah hadashot. This is like new word. This is so it's like, and this is, I think this is milah. This looks like almost like a feminine ending here. And then milim hadoshot. Now look at this. We've got a milim or new words. Okay, so following chart lists some standard nouns whose plural suffixes do not agree with their gender. Okay, so this looks like, it almost looks like a feminine gender, but it's not. It's masculine. Looks like. Actually, I'm going to use my pa'alim and find out what gender that is. I've got another program on here. Hadoshot. Hadoshot. Oy vey. All right, word. Okay, so let's go to word. Okay, so word is feminine. This is feminine gender for sure. Okay, and so word is feminine. So this is not. Okay, so here it is. This is where the confusion is right here. Yod mem sofi looks like a masculine plural, but this is technically feminine. So that's the mess up there. Okay, all right. I think I'm getting a little tired here. I think what I'm going to do is me see what my time is. Yeah, I'm at an hour. I try to keep these down to an hour because, being an educator like myself, I know that it's always good to take these studies into blocks of time because the human brain begins to lose its ability to absorb the longer time goes on. Okay. Now, as someone who consistently studies like I do, I can build this up, but the normal person has a window, an apex window of 15 to 20 minutes. Now, yes, you can build that up. You've got to build your concentration and so on. And just think of the ancient sages. They could study for hours and hours and hours and hours. Now, admittedly, you can't overcome. There's like, if you look at the arc on a chart, a graph rather, it starts to go down. Retention starts to go down over time. But there are certain people that can maintain pretty good, and the declination is very much lower in terms of information retention. So I'm going to stop here. And I hope you guys enjoyed this study. I know I did. And let's see here. I'm going to put this little marker here, and I'm going to remove this other marker. That one, delete. I think I'm going to read just to keep things from being, we'll put that in red. That way, there's certain things in red, and we'll leave the, put that in blue. Okay, all right. And then this is where we start next time. All right, guys, keep a watch on my videos, and there's a PayPal there's Venmo, there's Zelle. I've got like 4 different kinds of, if you want to just donate to this ministry, this is basically just a free service I'm offering the community. I don't know of too many videos on YouTube or any other place that goes into the kind of detail I'm getting into here in these books. So I hope that you guys benefit from this, and just keep on studying, keep on working, keep moving up in terms of your learning, so that you can be someone who may have an answer in due season. In season, maybe you'll meet a Jewish person somewhere that's confused about why does their Torah say such and such. There's all kinds of subject relative to how do we prove Master Yeshua. And learning Hebrew is very useful in that regard as well. So I will say shalom, shalom to all of you. And as soon as I can figure out where there we go. Shalom, shalom.